There are many civil engineers in Japan who are Kenyan.
He is one of the brains behind Japan's technological innovations and a leader in matter civil engineering.
Notable works, I'll say, is there's a bridge called Atal Setu Bridge. It's the longest sea bridge in India. I was there as the design lead.
Yes, Nakuru-born Victor Maina narrates to us how he was able to build a life for himself abroad and how he is bridging the gap between Japan and his motherland.
So my dream is to take my skills back to Kenya.
When you think of Japan, most likely the thing that comes to mind is innovation. From technology to architecture, art to engineering, Japan is clearly ahead of the rest. What you might find surprising is the fact that Kenyans are indeed front and center of all this innovation. A perfect example is Nakuru-born Victor Anango Maina, a business development manager here in the land of the rising sun. Victor wastes no time in showing us the beauty and ingenuity of Japan's capital, Tokyo.
I came to Japan 23 years ago, 2002. The Japanese government extended a scholarship to high school students. I was lucky that a certain teacher believed it was a good opportunity for me. So I took that opportunity, went for the tests and the exams, and I came here to Japan. The application was a very straightforward process. You just need to submit the necessary, your names, your grades, and but they had their own separate tests in maths, chemistry, biology, and Japanese.
And this was a scholarship?
It was a scholarship, fully paid by the Japanese government as part of their ODA.
That was how the old boy of Starehe Boys Center got his start here. And given his professional ambitions, Japan was the perfect place for him.
My dream to become an engineer was there. So I was given a project to make nyumba ya kuku. That was my first project.
At what age?
I think I was 11, and I was told, okay, you can budget for it, end at after Mbao, pick up Bay. So I think that is where the passion started.
Yeah.
I joined Osaka University, studied civil engineering with a specialty in structural engineering. There were no other Kenyans around campus, Africans. In Osaka University, I think we were 2 or 3.
You are lonely?
Yes. I mean, when you're young, that excitement of meeting new people, learning new cultures. So I think I had that helped a lot. That I was young and I was inquisitive.
In addition to the loneliness, there was also the not so slight issue of adapting to the Japanese culture.
So the culture shock is when you expect people to treat you like this, but then they treat you differently, or what you perceive to be kindness, somebody will pull off. And hope sickness, basically it was that freedom of making those funny jokes we make back home. Yes, so it took a while, but I just went into it, like I merged in. I had to adapt.
And adapt he did, making it through the entire 4-year course before deciding to extend his stay in Japan to pursue a master's degree.
During my studies, the scholarship give you an option to go back or to find a job here. So I thought, because I had spent so much time learning the language, investing in understanding the culture. So after 7 years, so 1 year Japanese language school, 4 years bachelor's and 2 years master's, I thought it would be a waste that I've spent so much time trying to adapt, and without any experience, practical work experience, I thought I'd better work. So I had to start job hunting. Luckily, the process of job hunting in Japan is quite well set out. With a little guidance, you can go through the process.
You got a job?
I got a job. I was hired as a design engineer because I studied structural engineering. So the company that was hiring me specializes in steel bridges.
That is how we ended up having our very own at the heart of Japanese tech revolution.
So notable works, I'll say, is there's a bridge called Nyatan Bridge. If you go to Hanoi, from the airport to the city center, there'll be a cable-stayed bridge, red one. So those cables were installed upon my guidance. So I'm very proud of that project.
As a project manager, what was your role exactly?
I was there as the design lead. My role was to ensure that when procuring the essential components, they are to the right length, price, and quality. So basically to ensure that at the end, that bridge is safe and to the client's requirements. So that is my first project where I felt that I could do it on a big scale. Then after that, another one is in Mumbai. That project is notable and close to my heart because it's one project I was involved in from the start to the end. Took 7 years. So from going and costing it, planning, it's all in your mind before you do it.
And here in Japan?
In Japan, I did, so the first year, as soon as I joined, I had to do one project. It's not in the cities, it is out in the hills. I had to do one project, it's called number 42 bridge. So there I was a design lead. The train actually passes under. So vehicles will pass on the top.
Victor's work has not only accorded him much praise, but also accolades in other countries like Bangladesh, Turkey, Istanbul and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And recently, he's been nominated to be part of a committee in the Indian Road Congress to assist in their review of design codes. Not too shabby for the Njoro town native. Despite his success, what fills Victor's heart with pride is knowing that he is not alone. Other Kenyans are equally excelling in this field.
There are many civil engineers in Japan who are Kenyan in different companies. So we get to talk. And also from last year, there was another Kenyan who joined the company.
Wow. Do you have an association, maybe? Or how do you network?
So through KIJA, there is an association for Kenyans in Japan. That's our main network. And from there, now on a professional side, we also meet by the side. But we always depend on the Kenyans in Japan Association to link up.
Do you miss Kenya?
Yes, I miss the culture. That's why I always try to meet other Kenyans.
Let's now talk impact. And Victor believes his presence here in Japan will most definitely have a ripple effect in his motherland of Kenya.
My dream is that, because once I came to Japan, I realized how important good infrastructure is. You can have very good ideas, but without the infrastructure, it's not there. So my dream is to, at a time, when the time is right, to take my skills back to Kenya, execute a project that will change lives. Because bridges, especially, I've seen the impact they can have on a city, on people. So my dream is to have a project in Kenya, execute it to the same world standards for which we have executed in other countries.
Victor is a classic example of grabbing opportunities and not looking back. He has literally and figuratively built a good life for himself thanks to daring in Japan, and for that, he is eternally grateful.
One aspect that has changed me a lot is the understanding that you are doing something not only for yourself, but for the next generation, for your neighbors. That is an aspect that the Japanese have, they really ingrain into you slowly. Yes, so you become more aware that what you are doing does not only impact you and your close friends, but it has further repercussions.
And to all those inspired by his story,
I believe that if you dream, and then the next part of the dream is to take action. I mean, there's a time that I had somebody say that you dream with your eyes awake, so that you're always moving ahead. And I think we should not be afraid to be told no. If you're afraid that somebody will say no, then you can never really push the boundaries. And I was lucky that when I was young, I didn't let anyone tell me it's impossible or stop.
And that's what daring abroad is all about.